Hello, my loves. Welcome into this reading for those who have a Gemini rising or their ascending sign is in Gemini. Hello and welcome in. If you have not already watched the introduction to this reading and you want to learn more about the Gemini energy and what it is we're doing in these readings, you can find that linked in the description and popping up on YouTube. So, the rising sign is an aspect of our chart that is a point of reference from where we were born. So it's what was on the horizon when we were born. I like to think of it as our earth sign, which is why I've paired it here with the earth in this display, because it's basically the sign that was on the horizon of the earth when you were born. It's essentially your earth sign. And the planets and the rising sign represent the what of our astrological journey and story, and the sign that they're in represent how that what expresses. So the what of the rising sign is your motivation and your appearance. Again, it was on the horizon when you were born. You were setting your sights on that astrological energy and vibration. You took your first breath, you made your first appearance in this life with that coming up on the horizon. And so it's said to be how you appear to other people. It's actually very interesting that we don't appear to other people as our sun sign, which most people know. We actually appear to other people as our rising signs. So for you, I appear to you upon the first time you've met me. I most likely appear to you as a Virgo, which is a perfectionist, which is a very service-oriented person, a very analytical person as well. That's how I appear when people first meet me. Now, how I shine is a whole different story. That's where my sun is. Okay. And your sun might be in Gemini, but the Gemini risings are appearing as Gemini. So you appear imaginative, clever, witty, energetic, and there's something the same but different about you when people interact with you. You appear to have this changeable, mutable mind or mentality to you when people first meet you. It's also said to be your motivation. There's a great book called You Were Born for This by Chani Nichols. It was available in my library system, and then I went out and bought it because I just needed it. It was so good. Such a great reference. And what Chani says is that your rising sign is also your motivation for coming to this earth. It's your motivation for being here. It's what drives you. And one level deeper than that is you're being driven toward wherever the ruler of that sign is in your chart. So this would mean wherever Mercury, which is the ruler of Gemini, wherever Mercury is in your chart, you're actually driving your life toward that placement, toward the sign that it's in, and also particularly towards the house that it's in. I also have a Mercury ruled chart because my rising sign is Virgo, and Mercury also rules Virgo, and Mercury in my chart is in Sagittarius in the 4th house. So I'm driving my life toward themes around the 4th house. So you might want to look up where Mercury is in your chart. It's going to be either in your sun sign or the sign before or the sign after. And the houses, if you want to understand the houses a little bit better, follow my lunar readings. We go into the details of the houses in those readings. But just keep that in mind as you're exploring this energy, because the sun is highlighting Gemini right now. So I'm highlighting the Gemini in your life, which is your motivation and your appearance. And we're really allowing ourselves to focus on this area. So as we focus on your motivation, I also want you to be aware of your driving force, of where it is that you're driving everything in your life. Okay, just keep that in mind. So let me know how that resonates. Let me know what you discover and what that may mean to you and how that impacts you. In general, you're motivated by the imagination energy. You're motivated by cleverness, by humor, by just this great energy. And you're motivated to see reflections and see how things can be the same yet different. You're motivated by holding space for two perspectives. You may also have that devil's advocate kind of energy going on. That's a very Gemini thing that I haven't mentioned until this point, but very, very Gemini in nature. Let's move on to the reading. So if you have not already, close your eyes, taken a few deep breaths, and opened your heart to receive the guidance most aligned for you at this time. Here's your invitation to do that. And if you want to call in any beings that you like to work with, you can do that now. I just ask that they be here in unconditional love and in alignment with your highest good and the highest good of all. Pause the video if you need more time. Remember that the intention for this reading is we're going to be reflecting. And for you, you're reflecting upon your motivation and your appearance. And this card that we're going to get from the Light Seer Tarot by Chris Ann is going to tell us what you're seeing in the mirror. All right, show me one card clearly. Thank you. Okay. There she is. This is what you're seeing in the mirror, the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups can represent regret, can represent sorrow, things lost that kind of pull on our heart. You can see like her essence is being sucked down into this hole where she's lost something that's been meaningful to her. Even though she's still holding a full cup in her hand, there's all these empty cups, and that one cup has dripped down into the abyss, and it's kind of like sucking her light force. So let's talk about that a little bit deeper, my ascending Geminis, Gemini risings. The illusion is lifting, and you may suddenly find yourself in the middle of a reality that is painfully disappointing. If your dark night was a result of someone else's deception, you will need to find the seeds of forgiveness in order to avoid a calloused heart. Release yourself from any guilt around the situation. When you realize that the future we were working toward is no longer an option, it is easy to focus on the loss and allow your energy to stagnate and spiral into self-pity. Don't allow your life force to drain away with the things you once loved. Allow your tender heart to navigate toward the curative magic of finding faith in your future. If you are having a hard time letting go, unhook your heart from your fragmented dreams and give yourself permission to envision a brighter future. Dismantle your grief, reclaim your happiness, and consciously step back onto a path filled with hope. Here is your affirmation. You can pause the video if you want to write it down. I'm just trying to get in focus, sorry. There it is. It says, my tender heart helps me navigate towards a brighter future. Toward my bright future. My tender heart helps me to navigate toward my bright future. It's interesting that we were talking about navigating, right? It could be that whatever didn't work out was because you were driving your future toward a direction that's not where you're going. And so I would definitely look at where Mercury shows up in your chart. And if you don't know how to do that, you can watch my tutorial video. It should be linked in the description here, how to find your planet signs, okay, on astro.com, just by entering your birth data and then reading the chart. Because it feels like there's this call for you. You're looking in the mirror and you're seeing someone who's disappointed. You're seeing someone who hasn't done what they came here to do, and what they thought they were here to do isn't working out, and it's just devastating. And now as the sun comes back into Gemini, you're being invited to redirect, to remember your motivation and steer this ship back toward a future that feels exciting again, okay? Even in the wake of this loss. And recognizing that this loss was most likely a redirect because you were going in a direction that wasn't aligned for you. So find where Mercury is, understand the energies of that house. Again, you can check out my moon readings. I organize them by house and by rising sign. So you can check them out, see the energy of the whatever house Mercury is in for you. They're ruled, the houses are numbered 1 to 12. They're ruled by the signs in the order that the zodiac goes in. So 1 is Aries, 2 is Taurus, 3 is Gemini, 4 is Cancer, 5 is Leo, 6 is Virgo, 7 is Libra, 8 is Scorpio, 9 is Sagittarius, 10 is Capricorn, 11 is Aquarius, and 12 is Pisces. So whichever house Mercury is in for you, you're driving toward the energy of that house, which is determined by the zodiac signs. Okay, it's a little complicated as I just explained it, but very less complicated when you just watch my explanation in the moon readings. Okay, and also pay attention to any other planets that you may have in that sign or in that house. Okay, because they're also influencing. So for me, again, my Mercury rules my chart just like you, and it's in my 4th house, and it's there with my sun, with Saturn, and with Uranus. So there's a lot going on for me in that place in my chart. And there's a lot going on for me in that area of my life. 4th house, ruled by Cancer, is all about home, ancestry, family. And it's taken me a long time to admit that I have really unshakable family values, that I'm really driven to bring things home and bring to my home, bring to my family, my Sagittarian nature, my quest for knowledge and my quest for truth, and to introduce that to my family and to honor my ancestors and the truth that they knew. So that's for me. I'm just trying to give you an example of how you can pull all that together. Obviously, you can get a reading with me if you want to dive deeper. But hopefully you'll be able to kind of get some information just from yourself. You can just Google too, the house energies and informations, and it'll give you more detail. Okay. So again, find where Mercury is in your chart. Look at what house it's in. Look at what sign it's in too. And ask yourself, what inspires you about those energies combined? What motivates you? And then start to see your future as with that focus, as being driven toward that end, and start seeing that future working out well and bright. Another thing that's coming through with these readings too is if you see anyone else in this energy, if you encounter someone in this energy, it's actually a reflection of you, and it's inviting you to check yourself. Whenever you see somebody in this energy and you're like, oh gosh, that person just can't get over their past, whatever the story is that you start to tell about someone that you encounter in this energy, well, guess what? They're in that energy and they're placed in front of you and in your life in this moment to remind you that you're in this place too. And whatever advice you have to give to them, that advice is also for you. And just their sheer presence in your life is an affirmation or a confirmation that you're still in this space, in this energy. If you are seeing reflected back to you people who are really excited about where they're going in the future and really seeing the possibilities, then that's also a reflection for you that you're doing the work and you've been able to shift your own perspective and vibration. Okay? Let me know how this resonates. Let me know if you have questions. And as always, namaste. The universal light within me salutes and honors the universal light within you. Namaste.